Picture this. It's the middle of a regular week in August 2025, and a limited edition Nike t-shirt drops in the Philippines. Not a collaboration with a celebrity, not a launch tied to a major sporting event, just a shirt. White, clean, with a Sampaguita flower blooming across the chest, designed by a Manila-based artist named Georgina Camus, and inspired by a hair tie that a 20-year-old tennis player wore on the grass courts of Wimbledon. By the time most people had even heard about it, it was already gone. And while that was happening, the internet, specifically Filipino social media, was losing its mind over brand deals that may or may not have actually existed. Let me take you through all of it, because the real story here is better than any of the fake ones. If you've been following Alexandra Eala's career for any stretch of time, you already know she's been building toward this moment for years. Globe Telecom signed her as an ambassador when she was 8 years old. 8, which tells you everything about how early the Philippine sports world recognized what she was. She went on to win the 2022 US Open Girls Singles title, becoming the first Filipino ever to win a Grand Slam Junior Singles Championship. She signed with Nike in 2019. She's been playing with Babolat rackets since her junior days, the same brand that supported Rafael Nadal throughout his career. And she added BPI and Locally Juice to her roster of endorsements as her profile kept climbing. By early 2025, she was already one of the most commercially active young athletes in Southeast Asia. And she was only getting started on the WTA Tour. Here's what you need to understand about Alex's relationship with Nike, because it's more layered than a standard apparel deal. For her Wimbledon debut in July 2025, Nike didn't just outfit her. They designed her a custom hair tie, a single white Sampaguita blossom, the national flower of the Philippines, built specifically for that moment. She wore it on center court against defending champion Barbara Krejcikova. She lost in 3 sets, but that hairpiece traveled. Vogue Philippines ran with it. The story spread. And then, a few weeks later, Park Access, Nike's official Philippine retailer, dropped the Nike Bayou in Full Bloom collection. A t-shirt, a tote bag, and a cap, all built around that same Sampaguita design by Camus. The collection sold through fast, and the buzz it generated was completely organic. Nike had invested in a story, and the market responded. And then the fake stories showed up. In September 2025, a Facebook post started circulating, you may have seen it, claiming that Wilson Sporting Goods had offered Alex a $45 million endorsement deal and that she had accepted it. The post racked up over 103,000 likes and thousands of comments before fact-checkers at Vera Files and Rappler stepped in to debunk it. There was no official statement from Wilson. There was no announcement from Alex. The quote attributed to her in the post was fabricated. Wilson's former CEO had actually resigned just days before the post went up, which made the claim even more implausible. But that wasn't even the most ambitious version of the fake news cycle. Separate posts claimed she had signed a $290 million 5-year deal with Nike, in addition to the deal she already had. Another story floated the idea that Michael Jordan himself had chosen her as the new face of Air Jordan. None of it was real. All of it went viral. And if you think about why, that's actually the most interesting part of this whole story, because the internet wasn't making this up out of nowhere. The demand behind those rumors was real, even if the deals weren't. Here's the thing. When a fabricated story about an athlete getting a $45 million contract generates over 100,000 reactions, that's not just misinformation going viral. That's a signal. Filipino fans wanted that story to be true so badly that they shared it without checking. And the reason they wanted it to be true is that Alex had given them every reason to believe something like it was coming. At the 2025 Miami Open, she walked in as a wild card and walked out as the first Filipina to reach the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event. She beat Madison Keys, the Australian Open champion, in the quarterfinals. She beat Iga Swiatek, a 5-time Grand Slam champion, to get there. In September, she won her first WTA 125 title at the Guadalajara Open, becoming the first Filipina to win a WTA challenger-level event. Her social media following exploded past 350,000. Brands were watching all of this. The gap between what the internet was inventing and what was actually happening was a lot smaller than it looked, because the foundation was completely legitimate. Then February 2026 arrived. On the 9th of that month, Alex reached a WTA singles ranking of world number 40. That is the highest any Filipino tennis player, man or woman, has ever ranked in tour history. She got there after a strong run through the Abu Dhabi Open and reaching the quarterfinals of the Dubai Championships, where she lost to Coco Gauff. Number 40 in the world. First Filipino ever. And suddenly, every brand that had been sitting on the sidelines trying to figure out if she was real had their answer. What's remarkable about watching Alex navigate all of this, the real achievements, the fake deal rumors, the Nike collections, the ranking milestones, is how steady she seems through it all. She's 20 years old. She started this journey at a tennis academy in Spain, far from home, without the ranking or the resources that most of her peers at that level had. Nike gifted her a hair tie for her Wimbledon debut. A Filipino artist designed a t-shirt around it. And the Philippine internet decided she deserved a $45 million contract, which honestly, if you look at what she's done, is not an unreasonable thing to want for her. The fake stories reflect something real, that Filipinos see in her exactly what she is, a player operating at a level that commands that kind of attention. The world is just starting to catch up. So where does this leave her going forward? She's the highest-ranked Filipino in tennis history at number 40, and she's only 20. Her schedule in 2026 has already included a semifinal run at the Auckland Open and a quarterfinal showing at the Dubai Championships. The Australian Open first-round exit stings a little, but that's one result in what is shaping up to be a defining year. The real question now is whether she can push into the top 25, which is the threshold where Grand Slam seedings start to matter. She's beaten Swiatek, she's beaten Keys. She has the game to compete with anyone on the tour. And as her ranking climbs, the brand conversation gets more serious. Not the fake viral version, but real negotiating rooms with real numbers. Nike is already there. The question is, who joins them next? So here's my question for you. Given everything you've just seen, the real Nike collection, the viral fake deals, the number 40 ranking, which brand do you think should be the next one to put serious money behind Alex Eala? Drop it in the comments. And if you're not subscribed yet, this channel is where we track her story every step of the way, so hit that button before the next one drops.